I got a story to tell. I got a story, oh, I got a story to tell. I got a story to tell. This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right here and tell you how I became a king of a town called, I don't know. I'm not a king of this town, but I'm the king of my town. Alright, so originally I'm from Washington, D.C. Shout out to Southeast and all my native Washingtonians. Chicken wings with mumbo sauce, go-go, and all those things. I moved to New York to pursue a career in music, and that was the goal. That was always the goal. Basically, while I was in DC, I was growing up. I was trying to do as much as I could on the music tip, doing recordings and trying to get into bands and stuff like that and get gigs. But a lot of the responses that I was getting was like, "You're too young," or I was just getting I felt like I had reached like a glass ceiling, so to speak, at a certain point. And so I was like, I'm gonna go to New York, because they say if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Cliche, but New York is like the mecca for entertainment, one of the meccas for entertainment. So I was like, I'm gonna move to New York, packed my shit up, came out, and went to college and studied music and got my degree. And a lot of people ask me once they find out that I'm not originally from here, which I find it weird that people think that I'm from here. Like, people always assume that I'm from like Brooklyn, but I don't feel like, I definitely don't talk like I'm from Brooklyn. I talk like I'm from Brooklyn?
You're starting to.
I'm talking like I'm from Brooklyn?
I'm from New York, at least.
Oh.
You don't sound like as southern as I hear other people sound.
Okay, so my accent is fading. So basically my DC accent has been fading is what I'm finding out right now. Alright, that's understandable. That happens.
No, you're pretty much just like me, where it'll come out when you're around your people.
When I'm at home, or when I'm talking to family or whatever, then you start to hear my DC accent. Or when I'm talking to somebody else from DC. But yeah, people ask me like, what's the difference between New York and DC, and if I miss DC. And I guess the answer to that would be like, first of all, it's hard to miss DC when every time I go back, everything is like 10 times gentrified than when I left it. So it's like I go back to seeing things that don't look like home, people that don't look like the people that I'm used to seeing. And for those of y'all that know what gentrification looks like, if you don't, it's basically like when they move all of the minorities and low income families out of a certain area, they raise the price value. Is that what you call it? They raise the cost of living, and then people can basically not afford to live there unless they are wealthy, and which is usually white people. And then the white people come in, the black people move out, or the Latinos, or whoever the minority is in that area. And it's an unfortunate scenario. A lot of people in New York are going through it right now. A lot of people in a lot of areas are going through it right now. But that was happening when I left DC. Like, I was starting to see like the beginning stages of gentrification. They were like tearing down the projects, and I just remember like even my babysitter, visiting my babysitter's house when I was older to not, need a babysitter, but I was just going back to visit me and my mom. And she told us, because she lived in the projects, and she told us like that she just came home to basically a letter on her door saying she had to move out by a certain date, and there was nothing they could do about it. So that's how they was just shutting down. They were just shutting shit down. All the projects was closing, the schools were being torn down, and new high rises are going up, and just everything looks completely different. So yeah, in that regard, I don't really miss DC. I miss my family, but it doesn't really feel like home anymore. I love DC, but for those of you that are there, that have been there, you know what I mean. But I guess for anybody that has seen their city go through a gentrified state or whatever, leave in the comments like how you feel about that, because that's interesting and I think it happens everywhere. It's happening in a lot of places right now. But it's been a nice ride. I love it here. I feel at home. I feel like New York is almost like a bigger, more busier version of DC from when I was a child. Not the DC now, but the DC when, oh, the battery is dead. Dead battery, yeah. Battery, yeah. Yeah, it's like a bigger version of DC. And people just talk a little bit different and dress a little bit different. But it really feels the same type of city vibe. A lot of people say New Yorkers are mean, but that is true in a way. But I just feel like they respect a little bit different. Like they'll respect your hustle if you come at them the right way. They're not gonna just go for anything though. They're not gonna go for the okie doke. They're not gonna like cheer you on if you not like nice, you know. Like for instance, like the Apollo, like they're gonna boo you off the stage if you suck. Even if you suck a little bit. You could hit one note wrong and you out of there. Thank goodness I did not get booed at the Apollo. But yeah. I love DC, I love New York. I'm happy here. And I do miss DC how it used to be, but you know, it is what it is. Shit changes. Change is inevitable, and it is what it is.
If you could live anywhere else, where would it be?
If I could live anywhere else, I would definitely want, I feel like I would want homes in different places so that I would never get tired of one place. So I feel like I want to live in LA for sure. I love LA. I want to have a house somewhere in the South like Miami or Atlanta, and somewhere out of this fucking country. Like I gotta get out of this United States of America. So maybe somewhere in France or I don't know, maybe an island or something. Oh, my hair is coming down. But I don't know. I really like New York though. I could see myself living here for a very long time. Like I could see myself calling this home for maybe the rest of my life. Like I probably will always have like a property or something out here that I could come to. Okay,
I got a story to tell. I got a story, oh, got a story to tell. I got a story to tell.